In veterinary medicine, when we talk about obesity, it's similar to what we would consider for people, in that they're basically, the animals are putting on way more weight and consuming too many more calories than they really are burning off in a day. And that's not so uncommon with animals, because if you sit there and think about what our animals do every day, they don't really have a high nutritional demand for what their normal activities are. With our clinic, probably about 25% of the animals, I would say, are obese, with potentially over half of them at least being overweight. And it can be a very touchy subject, because people don't like to hear that their animal is a little on the heavy side. So we have to do a lot of delicate discussion about their exercise regimen and the types of foods that they're eating, so that we don't offend the client, but so we can get them on the same page.
So a body condition score of a 1 includes the ribs, lumbar vertebrae, pelvic bones, and all bony prominences evident from a distance. There is no discernible body fat, and there is obvious loss of muscle mass.
A body condition score of 2 is ribs are easily palpated and may be visible with no fat. The tops of the lumbar vertebrae are also visible. Pelvic bone becomes prominent, and there is also an obvious waist and abdominal tuck.
So a body condition score of 3 is where the ribs are easily palpable with minimal fat covering. The waist is easily noted viewed from above, and abdominal tuck is evident as well.
A body condition score of 4 means that the ribs are palpated with difficulty, there is a heavy fat cover, there's noticeable fat deposits over the lumbar area and base of the tail. The waist is absent or barely visible.
A body condition score of 5 includes massive fat deposits over thorax, spine, and base of tail. Waist and abdomen tuck are absent, and there are fat deposits on neck and limbs, and there is obvious abdomen distension. So this is Carmel. Carmel here has a body condition score, or BCS, of about 3. When you're looking from the side view, the dog's abdomen should be clearly tucked up behind the ribs. You should be able to easily feel the dog's ribs. To palpate the ribs, stand behind your dog so you are both facing the same direction. Place your thumb near the dog's spine behind its shoulders, and then spread your fingers out over the dog's ribs. At an ideal weight, like Carmel, the individual ribs should be easily felt with no excess fat. When viewed from above, your dog should have an ideal body condition score if you see an hourglass shape. When placing your hands behind the last rib on the dog, running your hands back towards the pelvis, you should feel a slight decrease in space where it gets larger at the pelvis.
The long-term benefit of not being obese is that they'll have potentially less stress in their joints, that their heart will be better, all those things that would be similar, I think, for a person to have a healthy body weight. For recommendations that we give to pet owners, one of the key ones is to make sure the amount of food that they're feeding is measured. A lot of times people don't pay attention to portion control, and they might give 3 big scoops that in their mind is 3 cups, when in actuality might be a significantly greater portion. So portion control through measuring the food is really important. A second factor that's equally as important is to make sure they're not getting a lot of table scraps or human food or treats that have a lot of calories to them. I try to encourage people not to feed off at the table and not give them from your leftover dinner, but to use either snacks that are healthier, such as baby carrots, or even over-the-counter ones if they have fewer calories, to complement their regular diet. And if that doesn't seem to help, there are certain prescription diets that can be used to manage weight to help them